Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. What is going on with you? Welcome to the first ever competitive Hogs of War match. This is Herpderp versus Impastus. You'll remember Impastus because he beat me last time we played Hogs of War multiplayer. This has a little bit more try-hardiness involved, hence why it's called competitive. I will of course be your host, your shoutcaster, your commentator as we talk about the game as it goes along. This is something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and it is also something that I intend to do in future, where we may also introduce a tournament of some kind, seeing as we have a parsec that allows us to play multiplayer Hogs of War, PvP, and then use that to kickstart the competitive scene. This match will of course be comprised of 3 rounds, which is obviously a best of 3 system. If one player wins 2 rounds, then they are deemed to be the winner, and the final round is obviously obsolete. So round 1 is going to be on Graveyard Shift, which is pretty tricky. It's in the novice category. You do have the environmental areas in the center being that of the water, but there's no pickups, there's no additional help, so it's going to be quite challenging. Round 2 we're going to move on to Ice Flow, which obviously is a classic. You have the poison water and the explosive barrels, so how well either player is going to utilize those we shall see. And then if we come to a third round, it will be a generated map. So plenty to talk about, and obviously the additional, I guess, restrictions. You are only allowed a single medic. There is 30 seconds on the clock, so let's get started. So we're going to start things off. Obviously it is Impastus to start with the team selection. He's going to go with Team LARD, of course he is. His lineup will be a Grenadier, a Sniper, Paratrooper, Medic, and another Grenadier, which is maybe something I should introduce as another restriction, that you can't have doubles of each character. I've already said you can't have double medic, you can only have a single medic, so it should maybe be the same for all the other characters. But, you know, these are teething problems that we'll have, and we'll, you know, look at fixing, I guess, in future if things are deemed to be too powerful, and obviously make further restrictions going forward. Herpderp is going to be playing as the Germans, and he's going to have a lineup of a medic, gunner, paratrooper, engineer, and another grenadier. So grenadiers are of course the main topic for this first match. They seem to be a main focus point. They do of course have less health. In fact, they have the least amount of health out of all of the classes in multiplayer, but they do have the most powerful weapons, being that of the high explosive grenade and the cluster bombs. So round 1 is going to kick off right now, and it's going to be Impastus to start. So how is he going to move and take his first turn? We shall see. As I said, there is 30 seconds on the clock, so you know, the map isn't huge, so it's not really going to impact too much in terms of gameplay, I hope, but we shall see. I believe he's going to target the enemy medic, or orderly I should say. But he doesn't utilize the full use of the cluster bombs. Could have taken the medic out there in one shot. The cluster bomb, of course, is able to one-shot most characters, especially because this first round, I forgot to mention, is on normal health, and the second round will be double. Utilizing the tranquilizer there, which is a good strategy, especially against the enemy orderly, because, well, they can pack quite a punch with the 3 tranquilizers, which I've always said is fairly overpowered, and maybe in future we can make adjustments to the weapons that are in multiplayer. I know we've been making good strides with the PC stuff, but either way, what is he going to do with his sniper? Or should I keep getting the players mixed up, but it is of course a scout. Poison gas. Trying to bounce it towards the other player. Ooh. Almost got the other teammate there, but I believe that is the sapper who has been poisoned. And Herpderp here using the mortar. But how accurate can he be with this shot? Oh, quite accurate. That is a good hefty chunk there. 42 from the paratrooper, leaving him with not much health, because paratroopers, as we know, only have 65 health. Things do get a bit more interesting when you double the health up, but either way, how is he going to retaliate here against the enemy pyrotech? Using the strategy there of course, the jetpack strat. The paratrooper is, of course, equipped with 3 with 3 jetpacks, and he's coming here with the cattle prod, which will deal 25 damage. Can he get the water damage? He can. He gets the water damage. Pigs seem to stay in water for quite some time, so he's going to want to use that to his advantage as much as possible. And it was my mistake. It was his paratrooper who was poisoned, not his engineer or his sapper. I keep getting the damn players mixed up. But this is a strategy I've seen quite a lot in multiplayer so far. Is body blocking individual enemy pigs as a way to deal extra damage. So that way, if you say have a heavy weapons class and you want to go for a pig that stood next to yours, obviously you can't use, or you're kind of deterred away from using your bazooka or heavy weapons because you don't want to damage your own pigs. Herpderp taking some extra damage there from the water. He could have jumped, but there may be some input lag issues with Parsec. But that's a topic for another day. So his sniper there taking a hefty amount of damage, the full 50 from the TNT. So things are looking up here for Herpderp. But, we're kind of still in the mid-ground here. He does, of course, have his other Grenadier over here on the far side. So how Impastus can use that to his advantage, seeing as he has full health as well. The round itself is in full swing, and there is things going on all over the place. Oh, he's going with the cluster bomb strategy again against the enemy Grenadier. That could be costly. Blows him over. Oh, but he's managed to land him directly next to his own sniper, and in return takes out his own sniper. So he'll gain points, but he'll also lose a point, I believe, for accidentally killing his own player. Now the question here for Herpderp is, will he stick with tranquilizing the enemy orderly? Because, you don't want to be giving him his turn, because he can easily run around and heal people. The main restrictions we haven't really used for that are how many times you can use the healing hands, but it will probably be a maximum of 3. So yeah, he's sticking with the tranquilizer. That's probably a wise move because, as I've said, the orderly is one of the most deadly characters in multiplayer, given their ability to infinitely heal and tranquilize. That combination is just terrifying. Oh, cluster bomb coming out. That should probably, yep, that takes him out completely. And Herpderp is not looking good here. He's still got his pyrotechnic, don't worry, he's still there. Pyrotech over here. 25 damage, which sometimes results in the pig, limping, but sometimes it does result in the pig being able to run. So he has the ability to run around, which is, I guess, an extra plus. But he should be taking full damage here. Ooh, just about. Hopefully he didn't damage himself in the process. And that is another kill there for Herpderp. So yeah, this match is quite tight, but the paratrooper is losing health. Maybe Herpderp could have used his orderly to heal up the paratrooper, maybe by at least 20 health, just to remove the poison effect. But he's fully utilizing that jetpack strategy as well, and looking to damage the other enemy Grenadier. Not quite getting the full 40 there, but everyone is very much grouped up there. So whether or not he ends up yeah, he's going to shoot him in the face, and that is going to result in the poison trick. So that paratrooper's next turn will result in his death, because poison makes enemy pigs lose 10 health each turn. So his game is over, unless he can heal him up here. Not entirely sure why he isn't, really. He's gonna strategize his next turn. But should he prioritize the enemy orderly? No, he's going with the Grenadier. Surprising, if you ask me, because, well, if your paratrooper's gonna die, then he will damage that Grenadier right next to him, but in shooting him he's moved him further away, so he won't take the full 20 damage. But at the moment things seem to be swaying in Impastus's favour. Oh, coming out with the flamethrower. unexpected scenes there, but that orderly did have 30 health, so it takes him out completely and results in his death. So how's this going to turn out? At the moment, in terms of the scoreboard, Herpderp has the advantage. It's 2 versus 3, but he is going to lose his paratrooper, and he's also going to lose his orderly at the same time. Can he get the full damage? He can indeed. He also blasts him towards the paratrooper. Will he take extra damage? I think he's just far away. But taking him out is a huge thing there. He's going to die in the process, and now suddenly the tables have turned and it's 2 versus 1. Wow, that is unexpected, and Herpderp is going to be blasted away here, probably by the high explosive grenade, so long as... oh, or the cluster bomb, sorry, so long as Impastus is able to get his shots on target. So this for round 1, I think he can call that a win. He can indeed. Round 1 does indeed go to Impastus. So lots of talking points from that first round. Impastus just managing to take the victory. It was quite tight there, and I'm surprised at the lack of orderly healing. You want to be prioritizing healing wherever you can, whether it be to heal up your poisoned pigs and reduce the amount of damage they take over time, or just, you know, beef up your team a little bit more. Like I said, restrictions will come in, probably having a maximum of 3 healing hands per match. But yeah, that's probably my main take from that first round, including just the funny moment when Impastus managed to kill his own sniper, but accidentally, from taking out one of Herpderp's pigs. So we're going to move on to round 2. As you can see, the guys here making changes. Impastus has swapped his Grenadier for a Pyrotech, and Herpderp is going to swap out his Paratrooper for a Sniper. So round 2, as I said, is classic ice flow. There are a lot of areas here that can be quite troublesome, and there is the differentiation between high and low ground, so it depends on where each team's pigs are going to start, which will determine how well they can really, you know, get up and running. So ice flow, round 2, how's it going to pan out? We shall see. Impastus to start, I guess because he won, or maybe because he is technically player 1, but coming out with the jetpacks to begin with, knocking his pyrotechnic into the water, and the orderlies there as well. There's going to be tons of damage here. Again, the clock does have 30 seconds on, but it's not going to phase him whatsoever, as the orderly swims to the far side, takes a ton of damage. Both are poisoned, and he's going to come out with a heavy, high explosive grenade, which should one-shot him as well. Oh my word. The orderly is down. That is a hefty chunk of Herpderp's team total health taken out in one turn. The jetpacks coming in, just insane amount of damage to begin with, and yeah, he's going to retaliate with the flamethrower. A wise decision. It is, of course, perfect when you're positioned directly next to water. Ooh, coming out with all the damage. It does do additional 6 damage if you strike the same pig with another flame particle. But I feel like Impastus has the advantage in regards to positioning. He is on the low ground, but he has the center point here with the main building. So you can use that as cover. You can do all kinds of things. And it just makes it a bit more tricky for Herpderp. So he's going to poison Herpderp's sniper, who, of course, as I said, was swapped for the paratrooper. Perhaps not the wisest decision, mainly because, I mean, here the sniper is fairly limited. Yes, you can shoot guys with the sniper rifle, but I feel like you want to be dealing multiple damage as much as possible, so the paratrooper may have been the better option with the bazooka. Oh no, the canister for the gas there getting caught on the building and not going in the direction he wanted it to go in. He may have poisoned Impastus's pyrotechnic, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, the jetpack strategy coming out, knocking him into the minefield. More damage input there from Impastus. Being deadly with that jetpack throughout this round. And he's probably, yeah, he's going to finish it off with the bazooka. And I'm guessing trying to knock him into the water. Ooh, the full 40 damage as well. Not falling into the water there, that's quite surprising. This is of course one of the only maps where the water is split in two, so you have half poison, half regular non-poisoned water. And as I keep saying, it is also a classic. So his sapper has taken quite a hefty chunk of damage. Not entirely sure where he's aiming there. That's his own grenadier, and he also takes further damage from the water. So coming out with the shrapnel grenades. Oh, but it bounces off the building and unable to really inflict any damage to the enemy orderly. As you've also noticed, we are on double health, as I said, just to spice things up a bit more and make it a bit of a longer round, I suppose. So Impastus' orderly here, actually being able to have a turn, as in the last round he wasn't really able to do so, and utilising the tranquilizer wherever possible. Now, he did manage to get the poison onto Impastus' Pyrotech there. That's a dangerous option, and he changes his mind after realising that his enemy, his own orderly, sorry, was over in that far side. That is going to do full damage. And water damage as well. My goodness. My goodness. So the Pyrotech only has a single flamethrower, but he's going with the melee here of the punch. And that should be the end of the Grenadier. And unfortunately so, he will lose again the poison trick, losing 10 health. So he is out of here. Lots of poison pigs so far. But Herpderp's sniper here gets the rocket launcher. Again, not too accurate with the jumps there, taking additional damage, which is something you really don't want to do when you're already on low health. But what is he going to do? Is he going to utilise the rocket launcher? Probably the better idea. Or he could shoot the barrel. Either would create a fair amount of damage. And he goes with a rocket launcher. Will he knock him in the water though? He will indeed. Plenty of slip sliding going on. But yeah, things aren't looking great for Herpderp in this second round. Remember, if Impastus wins this round, then things will come to an end. And round 3 will be non-existent. I think that's the end of his Pyrotech. Yes, indeed. Sliding off into the water. And it just keeps getting better here for Impastus. So you really have to question what Herpderp can do in this situation. I think he's gonna try and blast him into the minefield. That is indeed the better option, because he's still got 140 health, which is insane. The full max, and the outcome is of course extra damage. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is quite unlucky. Wanting to gain as much damage from the minefield as possible, but it ends up just booping him out of there. He does get him poisoned, but you know, that's very much long-term damage, which at this point, and indeed at this stage in the match, it is kind of something that Herpderp doesn't really have. Going for the long shot. And dealing some damage. Not as accurate as he might have wanted, but damage nonetheless. I don't know about you, but I've completely forgotten about the paratrooper in that far corner, which is where Herpderp is now turning his attention. Possibly a wise move. At the end of the day, you just want points on the board. Is he going to try and knock him into the minefield? It doesn't look like it. And not doing the full amount of damage there with a cluster bomb. Again, could have knocked him into the minefield. That is the biggest minefield on the entire map. But it's just not going his way, and that is essentially the end for his sapper.
And Q Carnage, it's the purple team.
Don't forget about his scout as well. But he has used that rocket launcher already. And he is body blocking the other enemy scout. Really, I think it's just about dishing out damage because, you know, the majority of pigs that Impastors have over 100 health. So really it's trying to reduce the inevitable, I suppose. So how is he going to deal with him here? I'm not entirely sure. He's going to go for the Grenadier because he has the most health. And the other two pigs are pretty much taken care of. I think he was stopped there by the tree just about. Kind of reduced his speed. He may have slid into the minefield, but yeah, it's not looking good for Herpderp. I'm afraid to say. Can he get this headshot? That'll be a good shot. If it is, not quite. Not quite. Second attempt here. Can he boop him into the minefield? It doesn't look like he wants to. Looks like he's trying to knock him into the water. But again, nudges him into the lower portion of the map. And even then, he doesn't fall into the water. So just things not going Herpderp's way in this round. And the once again, oh dear, oh dear. That minefield came back to haunt him with Impastors once again utilizing that jetpack trick and getting the fullest amount of damage with perhaps the most minimal amount of effort. So he's only got the single scout left. And I think it's safe to say that Impastors has this round completely under wraps. For that scout is frightened and alone and is probably going to die within the next few seconds. He's going with the knife. He leapfrogs the other scout. He does kill him in the process, but that's not going to matter because it is another win for Impastors, and overall that is the first ever competitive Hogs of War match complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course congratulations to Impastors. He technically has 2 wins under his belt after defeating me and Herpderp, but I do intend to partake in further competitive matches, organise some form of tournament going forward, which I will of course make known to the community, and overall make more of these kind of videos. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Any sort of criticism, critique, whatever you can give is always welcome. I always enjoy reading comments. But in the meantime, I will catch you guys later for the next one. Peace out, everybody.